Hello, and welcome to Siberia, the world before. In the previous episode, we have stopped when Kate discovered some old station or something. There are trains, tracks. So, yeah, what's going on here?
Still looks pretty strong.
So, what is it about this train? It does send me back to the Siberia one, to be honest.
Oh, good grief.
Oh, that's that guy.
Jeez.
Yep. Is there something growing?
I should talk to Katuysha. Looks like she's found something. Jeez.
I was wondering if he has some sort of a key or something, but I don't think so.
Kate, what are you doing?
There's a dead body inside.
Leave it alone. You'll bring us back.
This carriage is more luxurious than the other ones. Maybe a dignitary's? Looks like it was caught in a rock slide decades ago. Crazy to think that no one's found it. Until today.
Are those more
More
bodies?
bodies.
Yep.
Looks like they were shot dead while they were eating. If there's the slightest chance of escape, better seize it. It's too late to turn back now. This cave is reinforced by those old structures. Must have been meant to shelter trains, and for a long time.
So the train was supposed to be hidden in this cave, but it looks like it all went wrong after the rock slide, when these men were executed.
Give me please a moment, I need to arrange my curtain situation. That would be much better. This situation when I just started recording and the sun was behind the clouds. But of course, as soon as I press record button, clouds go away.
More bodies. What happened here? Wow, that's deep. Can't even see the bottom.
Yeah. And it means the tunnel on the other side is cut off. Must be the way out. I can see the light at the end.
How do we get across that?
I'm sure there's a way. Follow me. I have an idea.
You can hold down the left click and move your mouse in order to take direct control of your character. The character will then automatically follow the direction you are pointing at with your cursor. I was curious if I have anything in my... I doubt I can use a guitar pick over there.
Impossible.
If we build up enough speed, we should be able to use the height difference on the edge of the precipice as a takeoff ramp to get to the tunnel on the other side, and then get to the surface.
Sure, that is if you can get the thing started.
Don't worry about that. Back in the days with my band, I always used to repair our old van on tours.
Okay, but wait a second. First, I want to take a closer look at these bodies and maybe figure out what happened here.
Why? Don't you want to escape first?
Full tank of gas. And it looks as if they were headed for the exit tunnel.
It's like they were ready to head out.
Looks like they were in a hurry, judging from their position. They were shot.
In the back.
Same as those over there. Looks like Second World War uniforms.
They belong to the Brown Shadow, the fascists who triggered the war before they herded up and massacred millions of innocent people. I wonder how a bunch of World War II fascist soldiers ended up here.
Right. And who killed them just as they were about to ride out of here.
One thing's for sure, though. We've got to give this motorbike a try.
What? What are you saying? You mean you want to jump over the ravine?
Exactly. But the keys aren't on the bodies, I checked. They must be somewhere inside the train. You go and find the keys while I take a look at this motor.
Will do. You'll be okay?
Don't worry, love. I'm sure this beauty and I, we're going to become best friends.
I am not sure if you can call it a beauty. I'm sorry. I can only look at these bodies, right? I cannot inspect them.
What the heck happened here? How in the world did those bodies get here? Let alone the train.
Yeah, I figured that part out.
Sorry, whoever you were, but I need to do a quick search.
Okay, thank you.
I don't think I can make any use of that. That must be the shooter.
Is the gun still usable? Because you are escaping from a prison. Having a gun would be useful at
Let's
least.
search somewhere else. One last drink to work up some courage.
Thursday, April 5th of 1944. I will be nothing more than a sack of bones by the time you, whoever you are, read this letter. Every day I have learned to be ever faithful to the fatherland and carry out my duty in the name of our illustrious leader. I would not have wanted it any other way. As per my orders, we have managed to accomplish our mission of securing the train in the agreed place of refuge hidden away from enemy hands. However, due to a landslide, we are cut off from the exit tunnel. So we are condemned to remain here forever with the train so that High Command can one day retrieve the secret it holds. This is blessing in disguise as the Red Army from the Eastern Front approaches, and we would most likely have been captured anyway. This way, at least, our secret is safe. The troops have become alarmingly disheartened, and so, to save them from betrayal and dishonor in their moment of folly, I have been forced to shoot them. For I have reason to believe that in their desperation they were planning to try to escape on the motorbike and then run into the enemy to reveal the whereabouts of the train in return for their liberty. I have hidden the ignition keys as a matter of form. It now remains for me to do as duty dictates in the name of our leader and our homeland so that this treasure will remain hidden until High Command is in a posture to retrieve it. Yours, Major Christian Sutter. Okay.
So this brown shadow officer shot his own men and then killed himself to make sure the train was never found by the Allies. Whatever it holds must be priceless. Strange, a hollow shape. There must have been something in it.
But what?
Nothing interesting here. I don't think I can make any use of that.
Huh? Well, hello there. Ew.
The distinctive symbol of the brown shadow fascists. Many countries have banned it, and that's just fine by me.
Ooh.
One of the keys is still covered in blood. Must be the one for the motorbike.
But we're not only interested in the motorbike.
Got him! It hasn't been started for too long. But leave me to it and I'll see if I can get it going. If I can just get it to kick start, we might be home free.
Can we inspect the...
Okay, I'll leave you to it then. I'm gonna go search the train a little more. Maybe
Thank
I'll
you.
find something useful for when we get out of here.
Sure.
The key to the carriage.
So, what secrets do you hold? Tell me. Tell me everything. They're just treasures. Right?
Kate! Your chariot's waiting! Hey! What are you... Holy crap! This is worth a fortune. I can't believe it. This is gonna come in nicely when we're on the road, babe.
A masterpiece. The Brown Shadow must have looted it during World War II. I hate to think what became of the owners of all these stolen objects.
Is it the hymn?
Oh my god.
What is it?
It's incredible. You gotta see this.
Yeah, it's pretty well done. I like the color of the rock face there. Is that what fascinates you?
No, Kate. There! Look! It's right under your nose.
It dates from 1937, apparently, but I can't make out the signature. Kola? Koba or something like that? Anyway, what's so fascinating about it?
You mean you can't see? Take a closer look.
Oh, stop it, you.
Sorry, you'll have to be more specific, Katuysha, because I still can't see.
Look again, there. The girl. She's your spitting image.
Oh, that's just a coincidence.
Well... You really think she looks like me?
Come on, you gotta admit it's incredible, right?
Either way, I suggest you put it away. We'd better get going.
It's amazing.
Did I already see these paintings? I'm not sure, I did not pay a lot of attention, so...
It must be priceless. Now I understand why the Brown Shadow wanted to hide the train so badly. There's a veritable fortune in loot here.
I think I've seen this one, okay.
Come on, Kate. You gotta admit she looks like you. It must be a sign. Hold it right there, girls.
Ships.
All right. You've caught us. But take a look inside this carriage. The train is full of treasure. We can all escape with tons of it. Just look. Don't move.
Listen to me, Simona. You've always been good to us, so why can't we help each other now? We'll be stronger together.
Sure. You've been nice little prisoners. I have nothing against you personally. But why can't I keep the treasure for myself?
This is a valid question.
This rotten prison. Nobody will know. I could even say you tried to escape, which wouldn't be a lie.
Simona, don't!
Don't take it personally. I just need a change of life. I think you can understand where I'm coming from.
No!
Damn it, this shit's getting really dark. Why did she shoot Katuysha though? Why didn't she shoot Kate?
My sweet Katuysha.
Oh, Kate. Poor Kate. Now you're on your own. With a train full of treasure.
Don't talk. You need to save your strength.
No, no point, Kate.
Hush, Katuysha.
Listen. That girl in the picture would have been so cool to go looking for her together, wouldn't it?
Nothing's changed.
Christ.
I'm still taking you with.
No. You gotta go. You gotta go. And find out before the guards come. Find that girl. All right? Kate? Love you. Remember me, Kate. I'll close my eyes now.
Ships.
Over there!
Well, needless to say that she is lucky that the plan worked out to cross the ravine. Or that the bike did not stall. Why is it so shaky? Maybe she's cold, okay. That is smart that you do not stop. Oh, you dropped the thing. That's also smart. About 1 year later. I mean, I guess I cannot complain that they just skipped everything, how particularly Kate escaped the country.
Miss Walker?
Okay.
Ah, there you are.
And you are in your classical outfit now. Nice.
Please excuse me, Frau Wagner. I was trying to decipher this. Is everything okay?
I found these for you. They might help you find that Muller shop you asked about.
Thank you, Frau Wagner. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, dear. I'll be at the reception desk if you need anything else.
I know well about my objectives, thank you. We might consider checking the diary though. December 30th, 2004. Dear Mrs. Foster, it is with great pleasure that I am able to inform you that Miss Walker had escaped from the mine. Sadly, however, according to the guards, her cellmate did not survive the breakout. That makes one more death for the fugitive to mourn. She apparently headed west towards an unknown destination. Maybe she's headed for an airport, who knows? The plane ticket that you sent with the letter might have had the desired effect. After all, there aren't any more castles in the sky for Kate Walker to go searching for, are there? November 7th, 2005. Dear Mrs. Foster, thanks for the information in your last letter. It should allow me to get back on track. If Miss Walker was last seen in Vaghen, then Vaghen is where I'm headed. I can hardly believe I've been searching high and low for almost a year now, from East to Central Europe, to pick up Miss Walker's trail. She seems to have kept away from the main highways and cities, but there have been a number of sightings from country people and misfits. They mostly speak of a mysterious foreigner of few words. Apparently her only goal is to make her way westward, crisscrossing minor roads on her old motorbike, only pausing for short breaks or to do odd jobs to pay for her next tank of gas. She apparently doesn't bond with anyone and never divulges her motivations. The witnesses unanimously confer that she spends moments of rest listening to her mother's music box you sent her and contemplating some strange painting. Painting?
Right. Guess I'd better start looking for shops called Muller that are likely to sell art supplies.
I guess this shop is as good as any.
These three make up a good basis to work from. Let's see if I can rule out a couple using the map.
Okay. You're saying D3. Let's see if I can find it here.
What about this one?
Then I would also need E5 and C4. E5 and C4.
Okay. So these three shops are the most likely to have sold the painting case. I need to pick the right one now.
The antique shop from the phone book is located in this district. Looks like it's full of similar stores. No doubt about it. This antique shop is probably my best shot. Better hang on to the address.
Okay.
Just need to get the painting from my room, and I can go and show it to the antique dealer. It's very calm here. Still haven't bumped into any guests since I arrived yesterday, and that suits me fine. I get the impression I've seen that before someplace.
I'm not sure what are you employing here. Oh, is that a PC? That's a weird one.
Way too many results that way. I'd never have located the Muller shop. Good thing I had Frau Wagner's documents.
Vaghen is the capital of Ostertal, a small country in Central Europe with a population of 9 million people. The city is built along the banks of the river Dombre, the third longest river in Europe, and is bordered by the Alps that separate it from Switzerland. As the fourth largest German-speaking city in the world, Vaghen is renowned for its history, with its origins dating back to the 6th century, and for its architecture largely influenced by the Art Nouveau movement. Devastated by a fire at the beginning of the 20th century, Vaghen became largely mechanized during its subsequent reconstruction. Its scenes offered numerous curiosities that have fascinated generations of travelers and tourists. Its population, estimated today to be at least 1.5 million inhabitants, was subject to a marked decrease during the Second World War. Vaghen, like the rest of Ostertal, was annexed by the fascists of the Brown Shadow. These fascists generalized persecutions against the significant local Vagharan community until the community was wiped out during the genocide set up throughout Europe during the following years. The number of Vagharan victims from Vaghen is estimated at over 100,000 of people. The Iron Taiga refers to a region of Eastern Europe that has remained largely wild. It is mostly known for having been a defense line of the USSR during the Cold War. Soviet forces deployed a large amount of heavy military equipment in the region for the prevention of an eventual attack from the forces of NATO. Much of this equipment was abandoned on the collapse of the Soviet Union and left to rust or to be recycled by scrap metal and arms dealers. The region is rich in salt and includes a number of industrial hamlets that emerged with the expansion of mining. The activity was subject to a strong decline during the perestroika or reconstruction era when the Soviet industrial fabric was sold piece by piece to the private sector. Some mines remained open but became the theater of shady operations linked to organized crime and identity splinter groups.
There must be 3 years worth of emails I haven't read here. Better do some cleaning up.
Ah, that's better.
Did you delete all of them?
I wish you could be here with me now, Katuysha. We would have found the shop together.
Fallen idol goes missing. January 14th, 2001. Katerina Spiridonova, the one-time idol of Soviet youth, is reported missing. The child prodigy, also known as Katuysha, joined the prestigious Soviet choral at an early age. Many were her fellow countryfolk who shed a tear on hearing her performance on state radio of the famous song that gave her her nickname, Katuysha. Okay, the homonym owes nothing to chance. Indeed, her parents, devoted party officials, had planned out her life with the goal of making her the epitome of the model citizen. But on reaching adolescence, she began to rebel. Moving from one more or less radical libertarian group to another, she ended up supporting every struggle against the established order. She militated for the rights of women, homosexuals, and every oppressed minority in general. A defiance took shape in the early 2000s when she co-founded a punk group. Their provocative lyrics and parody of cabaret and patriotic songs began finding an echo in circles with a liberal tendency in the West. It would seem that the young woman disappeared in mysterious circumstance a few nights ago after a concert when driving an old van belonging to the band on a country road. The wreck of the vehicle was found at the bottom of a river. However, one police source confirms that her body has not been found, but that all the evidence suggests that her body has been carried away by the river. This has been contested by the other members of her band. The young women claim that their leader's disappearance was mandated by their political enemies to reduce their friend to silence. There is nothing, however, to support this conspiracy theory.
Oh my god, Mom was buried months ago.
Sarah Walker, following a long illness, sadly passed away at the age of 65 on August 23, 2003. Involved in the field of culture, especially in opera, and much loved by her neighbors and friends, she leaves behind her happy memories to all who knew her. Sarah was also the mother of the brilliant lawyer Kate Walker, who has not been seen since she left for Europe over a year ago. The burial of Sarah has been postponed by 1 week to give extra time for the news to reach her daughter. It is hoped that Miss Walker will be able to come home to say a last farewell to her mother. Olivia Foster, a long-standing friend of the family, invites all those who would like to pay their last respect to Sarah Walker to attend the religious service at 2 p.m. on August 28th. Olivia and her husband Dan would like to thank everyone who joins them in their grief, as well as Frank Melkovich and the staff at the Mount Sinai Hospital. Damn. Sorry for that. The brown shadow is a term used to designate the wave of National Socialism that swept across Europe in the first half of the 20th century. It first came to light in the 1920s in Central Europe. It rose to power in the 1930s and subsequently won over the rest of Europe, so triggering the Second World War. In addition to civil and military victims of the ensuing conflict, the racist ideology of the Brown Shadow is responsible for genocides that led to the systematic and organized deaths of millions of people. These genocides were carried out in a systematic and relentless manner until the liberation of the victims by Allied forces. So, this world is literally not that far from ours. They just, so far, seems like renamed the stuff and called it a day. Wartime spoils found in clandestine salt mine. The discovery of a clandestine salt mine in the Iron Taiga region has both shocked campaigners of human rights and rocked the art world. It is reported that police descended on the illegal underground enterprise following a tip-off from a former slave. But slave labor was not the only surprise the police had in store. In one of the caverns, they discovered a steam engine with several wagons full of prized wartime spoils. The missing masterpieces and other precious objects of art are said to have been stolen by the Brown Shadow during World War II. The find is estimated to be worth several $100 million. Police Chief Viktor Polinsky said, "The operators and their jailers have been detained and the mine has been dismantled. The slaves have been identified and, after a short period of hospitalization, will be released to their next of kin." According to one hospital source, many slaves have been reporting that they had not been mining salt as was previously understood, but ivory and strange artifacts. The police have not yet commented on these reports, only stating that the investigation is ongoing. With regards to the stolen art, Polinsky added, Once our team of art experts has listed and identified the stolen objects, the difficult task will be to return them to their rightful owners. However, Chief Polinsky and his team might not have to look very far for the owners of many of the items. The authorities have already received hundreds of calls from people around the world claiming to hold proof of stolen family heirlooms and artwork. Convenient. Seems like your job is done for you guys. It's a nice moment of peace right now, I must admit. After the salt mine and stuff, and all the events that followed, it's just nice to have this moment of peace when nothing is happening and you can just like rest and read stuff and dive into the world.
Hans. According to this flyer, he came to Vaghen during one of his trips.
1919. Ostatal is formed from the dividing up of several states after their defeat during the Great War. Vaghen becomes its capital in a difficult economical climate. 1933. As the Great Depression from the United States reaches its height in Europe, the situation becomes critical in Vaghen with an unemployment rate exceeding 25%. 1934. Vaghen owes its salvation to a strange French inventor by the name of Hans Vorarlberg. This young man, on passing through the town on one of his numerous trips to the east, stayed in Vaghen to mechanize the entire city, which was destroyed by fire, so creating thousands of jobs that boosted the stagnant economy. Before he disappeared as he had appeared, we owe him notably the town jewel, the musical square. 1938. After years of growth, brown shadow fascists annexed Vaghen. There followed a night of murderous raids against the Vagheran people. 1945. After years of fascist occupation, Vaghen is finally liberated by the Allied forces consisting of Soviet, American, British, and French troops. A victory greatly facilitated by the local network of resistance fighters. 1955. After a decade of being administered by Allied forces, Vaghen, and by extension Ostatal, recovers its full sovereignty and begins to transform its local economy. 1995. Ostatal becomes a member of the European Union. Is it Osti? Never mind. It's another universe. It's don't think too much about it. Remembrance Tour of Vaghen. As a tribute to the thousands of Vagherans deported or killed by the Brown Shadow during the World War II, this Remembrance Tour will take you to the major locations where wartime or horrors took place. We hope you will leave time for some silence as you stroll along this moving walk through history. It will take you to the following locations: the Bridge of Mists, the district that suffered the most from the terrible anti-Vagheran raids in 1938. Remembrance Lane in the Musician District, where Vagherans from the ghetto were cold-bloodedly executed along with those who tried to protect them. And finally, the Central Train Station, where thousands of innocent people were loaded onto the train of death. We will remember them. Highlights in Vaghen. The musical square, which is currently under renovation, the must-see destination of Vaghen. No one can say they have visited the town if they have not at least seen one of the incredible mechanical concerts. Central Station, where whether you arrive or leave from the station, one thing is for sure, its typical architecture is a landmark in its own right. The Antiques District, a destination not to be missed. The district is full of surprises on every corner, just waiting to be picked up by the knowing bargain hunter. And the Bridge of Mists, an idyllic view over the Dombre, unique architecture, and numerous traditional shops featuring local crafts. This historical monument is not to be missed.
I hope it'll be just as calm when I get back. Wouldn't mind some alone time by the fire. Hope it still works.
Vaghen is surrounded by the Alps. Switzerland is right on the other side. I understand why Wagners call their town the heart of Europe. It's literally in the center of it. That's Germany over there. I wonder how far Barokstadt University is from here.
That's not my room. Better not go in.
I think that's Frau Wagner's room.
How strange to be here in Vaghen. After months of roaming from east to west on a motorbike, after taking odd jobs here and there to build up a little nest egg to finance this trip, and to be able to stay in this guest house for a time. Lucky Frau Wagner let me in despite my appearance when I arrived, with my meager means. The days when Marson and Lormet paid for my travel expenses seems far away now. It's like they were someone else's memories, fading away with passing time. Guess I've changed. Since the death of Mom and Katuysha, pursuing my hypothetical double on the painting turned out to be too tempting. Comforting, even. In any case, I promised Katuysha I would find her. Nice. It seems like a lifetime since I enjoyed some good old-fashioned comfort. Room might not be as cozy as a Yukol yurt, but it's
Excuse
sure
me?
more spacious.
This room feels comfortable to me. Yeah, well, but then I also never been in Yukol yurt, right? So
Katuysha's punk group. Would love to have seen them.
The meager amount I've managed to save since I escaped from the mine.
Perfect. I just need to take this painting to the antique shop I found earlier. Maybe Frau Wagner can tell me how to get there.
I'll find her, Katuysha, just like I promised. And we'll find out who she is, or was.
the train got caught in a rock slide, watered by the brown shadow. The painting was hidden in Major Soto's train. Vaghen 1957, painted near a mountain. I found Major Sato's train with Katuysha. It was stored in a music case. A Muller shop. I need to find the Muller shop. Visit the district before you leave. Which district? Well, anyway, you do not join the train until you cross out this thing, right?
I think that's Frau Wagner's room.
It's very calm here. Still haven't bumped into any...
Oh, hi, dear.
Hello there.
So, Miss Walker, were the documents of any help to you?
Absolutely.
Yes, I was even able to locate the shop I'm looking for. Thank you so much, Frau Wagner.
Good. Let me know if there's anything else I can help you with.
My, quest here is closely linked to the region of Vaghen. Could you tell me a little bit about its history?
I'd be glad to.
The woman I'm looking for must have been about 18 in 1937. Was this an important date in the history of Vaghen?
Not that I know of, no. But I'm not much of a historian, and I wasn't even born then. All I know is that the Troubles came the following years, with the Second World War. So that year must have been a boom year for fascist ideology, when the Brown Shadow was still just another party vying for power by preaching hate.
I found out about the woman I'm looking for thanks to a painting that must have been pillaged by the Brown Shadow during World War II.
Doesn't surprise me. Vaghen, and by extension all of Ostertal, was annexed and occupied by the fascists just before the war. They sacked, stole, and pillaged everything they could, just like they did in the rest of occupied Europe.
I have a few questions about Vaghen.
Good, because if you'd asked me about the latest scientific discovery, I'd have to say pass. But if it's about Vaghen, then you've come to the right person, my dear.
I sure hope so.
Apparently the shop I'm looking for is located in Vaghen's Antiques district. Could you tell me how to get there from the guest house?
Your best bet is to take the tram, miss. The town centre is almost entirely pedestrian, and your motorbike won't be of any use there. You'll find the nearest tram stop at the top of the stairs, to your right as you go out of the guest house.
To be honest, I haven't had much time to find out about Vaghen and the surrounding area. What is it I should know?
For one, Vaghen is very old, renowned for its charm and culture. As for the surrounding area, it attracts mountain lovers mostly, it being so near to the Swiss Alps, of course. The banks of the Dombra, the longest river in the country, are the delight of summer vacationers.
What can you tell me about the district?
Well, it's one of the oldest districts in Vaghen, traditionally working class. Myself and a few of the other relics who live here do try to keep it from modernization and mass tourism as best as we can. Other districts haven't been so careful, and the locals have been forced to leave their district because of rising rent prices.
This game is surprisingly actual.
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions about your guest house, Frau Wagner?
Oh, I'd be delighted. What would you like to know?
Things seem to be quiet today.
Oh, there's never many guests at this time of year.
Actually, is she a guest too?
Oh, yes. She arrived earlier. An elderly English lady. A former military officer, if I understood correctly. They say she's come on some rather unpleasant business. A burial, from what I can gather.
Oh my.
Yes, Miss Walker. And she hasn't let go of the telephone since she got here.
Oh wow.
I'd love to know more about you, Frau Wagner.
Oh, there's not much to tell, really. At least, nothing that would change the course of history.
But I'm sure you've had an eventful life, haven't you?
Well, I was born just after the war in Vaghen, and I've never left. I opened this place and ran it with my husband until he died a few years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
You see, nothing to write home about. Then again, we were never ones for excitement, really. But we were happy, my husband and I.
The room's just perfect. Thank you so much.
There's no need to thank me, Miss Walker. It's my job to make sure my guests are comfortable. And it's not every day we get a young American lady on a motorbike in the middle of the night looking for a mysterious shop.
Oh.
It makes me feel like I'm in a detective novel.
Nothing
You might as
else
well be.
comes to mind for the moment. Thank you for your time.
Well, feel free to come back and ask if you have any more questions.
Sorry. Okido. I'd rather not do that. Come on. Let's respect other people's privacy. Like, if she's on some business, leave
Have
it
a
be.
nice day, Miss Walker.
Thank you.
There's a tramway map at the end of the street next to the station. It should tell me how to get to the antiques district. Pity Vaghen is practically all pedestrian. After all those months on the road, I've gotten kind of fond of that old bike.
It looks like a relic on its own. I'm curious, like, what kind of fuel it uses. Like, can it use the European high ecology standard fuels and other kind of stuff? Like, or you put, I don't know, something like overcooking oil inside and it's fine for this thing. Hey, why not going there? Alright.
Must be the botanical gardens. Too bad it's closed.
Visit the district before you leave. Which district?
This district is just so beautiful.
Ah, that must be the thing. That must be my objective. Please cross it out. Gosh darn it. Huh, there is something here. I think. Crap. I might have been wrong. For now, let's try to ignore the map. Okay. Can I cross it here? I also cannot cross it here. The guest house, okay. And that's the Muller shop. And I can travel. What do you mean by visit the district before you leave? God damn it. I think it's written relatively vague, and so I cannot exactly understand what what does it want from me? Because I walked around this district, right?
Going by what Frau Wagner told me when I first arrived, this used to be a working class district. Nowadays, I bet everyone wants to snap up these old houses, just like in Brooklyn.
Well, the guest house in that neighborhood sure are the best things to happen to me since... who knows. But I should go and take the tram now.
Now I'm content. Thank you. At least this wasn't that... it wasn't that far away, so...
Have you heard what the Thor uncovered up in the mountain?
At Devil's Pass, you mean? I did hear something on the news before coming out. What's the latest then?
They reckon they found remains dating back to World War II, when Alpine resistance networks led refugees across into Switzerland. Nasty times were those.
Yes, not the best times in our history, were they?
Well, that's one way to put it. I mean, it should arrive by its own eventually, should it not? The stairs are so fancy. Dear Mrs. Foster, I have arrived in Vaghen, Osttal, where I have been able to quickly pick up Miss Walker's trail. She was staying for a while in a local guest house but had already left by the time I arrived. It is not going to be easy to find out if she has left the town or moved to another address. The guest house owner, a certain Frau Wagner, seems to hold her in a very high esteem and has categorically refused to help me. It was all I could do to get Frau Wagner to tell me that Miss Walker went to the Antiques district on her first day in the city. I shall just have to follow Kate's footsteps in order to reconstitute her trials and tribulations in Vaghen. Never mind though, after all, it's been my routine for almost the last 3 years now. Automaton industry. Interesting. Muller and Sons. Are we not gonna check out the cafe? No, it's always nicer to check out the stalls with a cup of tea or some coffee mug or whatnot.
Typical of the town, judging from what I've seen so far of the architecture here.
New surprising finds in clandestine mine. Investigations into the clandestine salt mine discovered in the Iron Taiga region after a tip-off have taken a surprising turn. We previously reported the incredible discovery of a brown shadow treasure train in the salt mine along with a slave labor force housed in the rudimentary underground cells. Police investigators have now unearthed a collection of invaluable artifacts along with a store of mammoth ivory deemed of major significance by anthropologists around the world. Experts hope that carbon dating will confirm they are from Neolithic times, in which case these finds will prove the existence of a mystical East European empire corresponding to Great Russia. Furthermore, it has been confirmed that the laborers used to dig out the invaluable artifacts were abducted by an Eastern European fascist militia. This militia thus provided the owners with a constant supply of slaves. During a press conference, Chief Inspector Viktor Polinsky said, "These astonishing finds confirm accounts from forced workers that the criminal excavation venture was set up following the permafrost thaw. The permafrost, thought to have been in existence for 6 years, has been slowly melting due to the effects of global warming. To what end the owners were intent on excavating the invaluable artifacts and resources is not yet known."
An antique shop, but not the one I'm looking for.
Nope. Now, I saw that we have been saved, right? Right. So, I suggest this to be the place where we wrap an episode. I had enough for now, in terms that there was quite a contrast in the events that unfolded right now. We have escaped the mine. We leaped through a year, and now we are in relaxed comfort mode without any pressure, without any death threat or anything. Maybe with the exception of Nick Kantin like following us for whatever reason. But it's much quieter pace right now, and some emotions need to be processed right before I can progress. Now, with that, I'd like to say thank you for staying with me. I hope you enjoy my company and my gameplay. If that is the case, then please leave me a like and subscribe to the channel, or otherwise let me know down in the comments what I can improve for you. I hope to see you next time. Have a nice day out there, and bye.